Okay, so now how do we do this one? They're giving us this big old ugly thing, cotan plus cosecant over secant plus 1. And they're saying, hey, this breaks down and it's just the same as which one of those four? They're telling us that all that stuff breaks down and it's just cosecant or sine or cotan or tan. Which one is it? Multiple choice. So basically we start by using the rules we've learned. And that is that tangent, remember, is sine over cosine. Cotangent is cosine over sine. And secant is 1 over cosine, and cosecant is 1 over sine. Okay, so with that in mind, I'm just going to scribble that up for you. Let's do it. So cotangent, that's cosine over sine, plus cosecant, that's 1 over sine, over, and the denominator secant, that's 1 over cosine, and then just 1. All right, now what am I going to do with that? Can I just start grabbing stuff and just flipping it up? No, pluses, adding, subtracting, it's Costco glue, right? It means this 1 over c says, I'm glued to this guy. I can't on my own separately just flip up here. No, I'm a package glued deal. Don't be doing that with me. If that was times, that would be great. I could just grab this guy and flip it. All right, so instead, we're going to do what we've done a couple of times. When we have fractions over fractions with adding or subtracting, what do? We multiply every term, top and bottom, by LCD over 1. And what is the LCD? It's 1 of each type of item under a small bar. So what's under the small bar? S, S, and C. So in this case, LCD over 1 is going to be SC over 1. We're going to use them both. You have to, so the LCD is always 1 of each type. So I don't use both the signs. I just use 1 sine and 1 cosine. 1 of each type of item that is under the small bars. So it's going to be, in this case, S and C. And what am I going to do with it? I'm going to go SC over 1. SC over 1. SC over 1. And here, I'm just going to go SC. You don't need to do the over 1. It's not a fraction. It's the same thing, though. Is that good? Is that making sense? I multiply every term, top and bottom, by the LCD over 1, the SC over 1. Why the LCD? Because it's just enough to cancel all the denominators. That's why the common denominator does the trick. Do you see it now? You've got to absorb all those little things that are underneath the small bars to clean up this mess. And so basically, you just take 1 of everything you need and throw it in there, and that'll take care of it. All right, so what's going to happen? S cancels S. And we bring down C squared plus S cancels S, and we bring down C. C over 1, but we don't need the 1s anymore. Right here, C cancels C. Only gets S and SC. Times 1 is just SC. Much nicer, right? No longer fractions over fractions. Much cleaner. Are we good to there so far? Good there. Okay, now it's getting better, but we have a little more to go. What do we do at this point? Well, do you recognize? Do you get in the hang of this? There's something you need to see. Common. these two have a common C. And down here, common S. Those two have a common S. Remember what we do whenever there's a common piece? Get this out of the way here. We factor it out. We put the C in the front and a parenthesis. We put the S in the front and a parenthesis, right? You take the common part, you put it in the front, and you're going to have the plus signs in here. And then you put inside the parentheses whatever works. C times what and C times what will go back to C squared and C. Well, it's going to be C and 1, isn't it? You see that? C times C will go back to C squared, and C times 1 will go back to C. And then on the bottom, S times what and S times what will go back to S and SC, 1 and C. Right? S times 1 will go back to S. S times C will go back to SC. All right. And now what happens? This and this cancel. They're the same thing. The order doesn't matter. 1 plus C, C plus 1, whatever. That's the same thing. The order doesn't matter. Just like 2 plus 1 is 3, like 1 plus 2 is 3, the order doesn't matter. They're the same thing over itself, so they cancel. And it's totally fine. I'm buying the whole package there, right? I'm taking both sides of the plus sign. So I'm buying the whole Costco package. It's fine. So what are we left with? Just C over S. What's that? What's C over S? That's cotangent. That is cotangent. There it is. Cotangent is our answer. That was cotangent. Cotangent. And there we go.